do you fight against the shiny object syndrome and the recency bias on, a lot of times it's that last demo, right? Oh yeah, those guys. How do you fight against that? And do you do any sort of weighting, or how do you evaluate the kind of the various vendors as you've gone through, multiple demos across the providers?
Well, the first thing that we do is we have a hellacious RFI that we make people fill out. All the vendors fill out. And so it essentially says, it's very extensive. And it says, what do you do and what do you not do? And it's categories, AP, AR, GL, performance reporting. That's kind of the first thing. And then we bump it up against what the client needs. Some people are eliminated just from that.
Yeah.
Then when we go into the demos, to your point, hey, this company is brand new. Hey, this company has been around for a while. The system looks old, but it does what it needs to do.
Yeah.
The salesperson is not something you vibe with. Try to overlook that. You love this salesperson. Doesn't matter. And I think to the point earlier, it's just about digging in, digging in. And yes, it looks great and it's shiny and this and this and this, but you've got to dig in and see if it can actually do what you need it to do. And I think that's the only way. I always tell my clients too, there are vendors that have been around for 20 plus years. There are vendors that have been around for 5 years. It's what do you want? Like, you can have something brand new. It probably still has bugs. It's not fully developed. Probably going to be less expensive, or you go with something that's maybe not as sexy, but it's proven. It does its thing. It's probably more expensive. And so what is the culture of your office? If, and I have clients that have said, I've been through implementation before. I want nothing to do with a new company. I'm going with the tried and true. Fine. There are other people who are like, well, we want the best technology and, this is exciting. I can call up and talk to the owner, and they give you attention, right? Because you're a newer client, and you can also have say in how the system is built because they're building it for their clients. And so that's a difference too that you really need to consider.
I think that's kind of getting at that. Well, what is the firm's technology personality, right? Like, are you an early adopter? And are you up for the things that are involved with being an early adopter? Some of that's a little bit of a science experiment, right? Things may not be fully fleshed out, but to your point, you get to have more influence on the product direction. And, chances are they're built on a more modern tech stack versus you're on a, tried and true vendor. It may not be the most modern UI. They may have a fair amount of technical debt, which is something to consider sometimes, but that functionality is proven. They have a kind of established client base on it that's been kind of hardened that functionality. And some people, I think that is not an individual personality thing, but a firm personality thing.